Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how I made this beautiful mirrored gift box and a Ferrero Rocher chocolate bouquet. As always, I will leave links in the description box for all the materials I used. First, I lay out 8 mirrors. I take 4 of those mirrors and glue them together in a square. Here I added craft sticks to the back of my mirrors for extra support. Also, once everything was dry and put together appropriately, I did cover the back of the mirror with a piece of black felt, just to give it a more clean look and to cover up any imperfections. Here, although I'm out of frame, is where I glued the two mirrors together, flat side by side, and then I added the other 2, glued one on each side. I also added craft sticks to this set of mirrors as well for support, and I also covered them with black felt, again, to give it a more polished look and cover up any imperfections. It seems that I've lost the footage of me using the black felt, but I got the black felt from Micheals, and it just seemed to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to cover the inside with the black felt, and then also a piece on the bottom to keep it from scraping whatever surface it's sitting on. that both sides have had time to dry, I'm now ready to combine them to create my box. So I'm using a strong adhesive spreading that on with the craft stick, but I also added the hot glue to give me that right now hold, but that is optional. This really needed at least 24 hours to settle and sit before actually putting anything in it. And now it's time to decorate. You can decorate this box any way you choose. I chose to stick with the theme of the mirrors that I used. I just chose to embellish them a little bit with a almost root beer color glitter. I used painter's tape to trim the inside to keep the Mod Podge from getting all over it, and then I just trimmed it with the Mod Podge and sprinkled the glitter on there. You'll notice later in the video that I also embellished it with some gold bling wrap that I found at the Dollar Tree. But again, this is optional. You can also leave it plain. I have some that are plain and it looks great either way. And here it is, all dry with the glitter, and as you can see, I added the black felt. I'm so upset that I lost that footage, but it was a minor step. I'm now cleaning it up, getting the glitter off of the felt. I actually had to use a lint roller after I shook it out, but I think this came out great so far. So I wanted to give it a little bit more oomph and to kind of tie in the gold candy bouquet. So here's where I use the adhesive diamond wrap that I found at my local Dollar Tree. Again, this is optional. Just decorate it to taste. Now, because I made the decision to add the bling wrap, I am using this razor to kind of clean up any loose glitter, any loose Mod Podge glue, so that my diamond wrap will adhere properly and lay flat without any lumps or bumps in the way. So again, this is just a scraper I stole out of my husband's toolbox that I use to just kind of clean up. You can also use an Xacto knife or a box cutter. But this worked for me. It was handy and right there to kind of clean it up. trimming the inside boxes with the bling wrap, I decided to go ahead and just trim the entire box. Thought that would just give it a little bit more oomph. You just can never have enough bling and glitter. And there's my completed box. Hope you guys like it. Now, let's move on to the bouquet. This is a 2-part video. So here I have my candies and all my supplies that I'm going to use to create this fun Ferrero Rocher bouquet. So here I'm starting off with a small piece of styrofoam. I'm going to simply cover the outside edges with this beautiful cardstock that I got from my local Dollar Tree. I'm not going to cover the top because that is where I'm going to place the skewers that are going to have the candy attached to it. But I wanted to just give this bouquet a nice look in case the receiver wanted to take it out of the mirrored box and just have the bouquet stand alone. So that was my thought process here. Plus, I just really liked that cardstock and wanted to find a use for it. Now you'll notice I just used one piece of cardstock. I cut it in half, and I'm using my hot glue gun. I'm using Gorilla Glue sticks to secure this cardstock to the cube. You want to use a low temp glue gun as to not melt the foam. My glue gun has 2 settings. So again, you want to use a low temp glue gun so that you do not melt the foam. And now that that is done, I am going to count out a dozen of the Ferrero Rocher candies. I got this box at my local Shoprite, and it ended up being on sale for like $10. I'm going to place a skewer in the bottom, gently in the bottom of each piece of candy, not too far, but just enough. And I'm going to count out the dozen and lay them out. Now, as you can see, I am cutting into 4s this foil tissue paper that I found at my Dollar Tree. I'm going to fold it in half after I have all of my sections cut out, and I'm just going to poke a small hole and slide it up the skewer. Once I have my tissue paper all the way up, touching the bottom of the candy, I'm then going to just take a piece of Scotch tape, and I'm going to gather it and just take some tape to secure it to the skewer. I did not want to use hot glue here because I was not sure how it would react to that foil paper. So again, just a small piece of Scotch tape to secure the foil paper to the skewer, and then I cut slits so I can fan it out a little more and just give that tissue paper a little bit more texture instead of just looking very crumpled. So now that all my candy flowers are done, I am now just strategically or randomly placing them into the foam. There was no particular design. I did some high, some low. I really just wanted to look like one big flower and you still be able to see the candy. That paper that I used is extremely eye-catching. So any way you place these, they just kind of fall well, and you have the silver and gold contrast, and it really didn't matter where I put them. It just looked great. That just happened to be a great combination for those candies. now that I have placed them all into the foam, I'm now going to take some more tissue paper that I found at my local Dollar Tree. Still sticking to that gold theme, and I'm just simply going to take this paper and slide it in between the skewers. I'm just gonna tuck it in there really good to cover up the spaces and make my flower look a little bit more full. And honestly, I was not expecting for this paper to look as great as it was. I was a little concerned, but it actually turned out very well. As you can see, again, I'm just sliding this paper in between the skewers, making sure that the pattern side is showing, and it is just giving this candy arrangement just a really good full look. So there you have it. Again, you can choose to do this any way you like. If you don't like the tissue paper, I think the tissue paper made it look a lot more full, and the contrast between the shiny and that matte look, I was really happy with it. So here's the completed bouquet. And now let's put them together and see how it works. And I also added these glasses. I made these for another project, and I just thought that they went really well with the color scheme, and made this gift basket pop. I embellished them with some glitter, and I'll do a video for that at another time. But here you have it. Here's the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to know what I'm doing next, hit the subscribe button. Share, and thank you for watching.